I'm trying to wait. Hi. So, I guess I'm going to get started here. It's now 8 o'clock. I had posted about reviving a roundtable discussion that I had when I was, it was a regular, like once a month event at Arcane Sanctum when the actual physical store was open. And during this roundtable event, a bunch of people would come together and we would discuss tarot. We would drink tea. I would make tea and we would discuss tarot. It was a lot of fun. So I wanted to revive that since we're all stuck in pandemic. I'm self-quarantining for the most part. I do go to the gym, so I guess I can't say I'm fully self-quarantining, but I try to stay away from people as much as possible. It's probably not a pandemic issue, more so me being just doing my own thing at home. Anyway, that's just kind of always how I've been, a bit of a loner. So, but I am in the process of, I've been contacting a lot of the beautiful, amazing people I know who work with tarot and work with other forms of divination, because I want this to, I call it tea and tarot because I love the alliteration aspect, but it is not entirely just about that. I want it to be about divination in different forms that we all use and ways that we see the symbols in our lives and are able to interpret those and use those for our own spiritual and self-growth. So today, I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what is coming up. I've been talking to, like I said, some beautiful, amazing people I know. If you want to be part of any of my lives and also join in, I would love that. If you have a particular topic you want to discuss, I have one person who's going to talk about astrology and tarot with me next week. One of my dearest friends, probably my best friend, Dimitri, who you can find him on here under Afro Spiritual, as well as on TikTok under Afro Spiritual. He and I are going to actually sit together. He's going to show up here at my house, and we're going to drink tea and talk about the fundamentals of tarot practice and how we use our cards, maybe how you choose cards, and hopefully just bring answer questions for people. I love questions. Questions help me to better communicate and know what people want to learn about tarot, want to learn about divination, and they help me to grow my understanding. I love when people ask questions that I can't answer, because I am then going to go back and find out the information and bring it to you. I love that Russo says she will be here as she likes to learn more about tarot and so she can practice on her own. Excellent. I hear people a lot. I hate all the different myths that occur around tarot. Since you said that, Russo, I'm going to touch on one of the ones that I hear often is people saying, oh, I know I'm not supposed to read tarot for myself. That's bullshit. 100% that is fucking bullshit. Sometimes we have blinders to our own shit, and so we can sweep it under the rug and not be really honest with ourselves. So when our cards are telling us, hey, you need to check yourself, a lot of times we might have a tendency to want to read that in a different way so that we don't have to actually turn the mirror on ourselves. So that's the only reason that I could see that not reading for yourself, having an outside perspective can be useful, is because all of those areas where we have blinders to our own shit, someone else can give us a different perspective and help us to have a better understanding. However, if we are truly introspective and open to the communication that is tarot and that is being brought forward through our readings and through picking up cards, then reading for yourself is a great way. I don't like to let people know my business. I'm a pretty private person, so I typically won't let anyone read for me unless we're really close. So I think because I keep all my shit private. I'm not one of those people who airs my dirty laundry on the internet typically. I deal with it personally. So Oh, I see somebody else. Twisted Scribe showed up. Hello. I really want to learn how to keep myself safe. So Russo, you said you want to learn how to keep yourself safe. What in exactly, how do you mean that? Do you mean like spiritual protection aspects? Or how, what to what are you exactly referring? Because I'm not certain that I can gauge that question or give you much information thus far. I need more information from you. So if you don't mind typing that in, I would love to perhaps take a stab at that. Oh, spiritual protection. So now with tarot, I personally do not feel that there is a lot of worry about having to protect yourself too much with regards to doing your own readings for yourself, right? If you're reading for yourself, it is the cards. I don't feel that the cards are anthropomorphized. I don't feel they have their own spirit attached to them per se. And it's just a conduit, an actual tool that we use to communicate with spirit directly. So we can feel the resonance there and tune into that. Spiritual protection is a super, like, that is one of the first things that I teach when I teach my witchcraft course. I have a course that is like a 6-month course. No, 3-month course. It's a 3-month course for beginning witchcraft. And I also teach independent courses. And the very first thing I teach is spiritual protection. How to discern your energy from that of everyone around you and how to protect that. When working with other people and doing readings for other people, that's when we really have to be more careful with spiritual protection, because but in essence, people sitting across from you and you doing a reading for them, they are opening up all their shit. They're giving you permission to walk through all their shit, and that can be very intense to process if you don't know how to do so. And so I often will ask. That's the first thing that I teach people, is how to shield and protect yourself, how to decompress all of that energy. And I see Twisted Scribe asked a question. It scrolled up and I can't seem to bring it back down, but and I see your question too, Russo. Thank you for that. Twisted Scribe asked me how often you should work with your tarot cards. So I actually believe that it's like any language, because it is a language of communication between us and spirit. You know, it's a tool that we use for that purpose. So any language you learn, you should spend a little bit of time every single day, rather than spending 2 hours one day a week. 5, 10, 15 minutes every single day is going to be much more beneficial, because you're constantly connecting to that conversation. You're constantly reminding yourself how to speak that language. You're constantly learning. And there are many different ways to go about connecting to your cards and working with cards, and we can talk about that and probably will next week when Dimitri, my friend Afro Spiritual, shows up and has tea with me. We're going to talk about the fundamentals and how to get started with tarot. So thank you. That's a great question. Now, Russo, to address your question, this is one I hear a lot, and I love it. Should you buy your own tarot card deck? Yes, I do not feel that it is wrong to buy your own tarot card deck. I think that my theory is that came about as a product of working with tarot being something that was handed down and taught to you by an elder, by somebody else who had a connection already with tarot and was handing down that information. So they would have given you your first deck and taught you how to work with them, with the cards. So now we live in different times. Everything's different. You can teach yourself. I taught myself how to work with tarot. I lived in a tiny fucking town of 175 people growing up, and there would not have been anyone to teach me. And so I delved into it because that's something I was drawn to. And so what I always tell people, there's a lot of folks who also believe, hey, you should always start with this particular deck. Usually it's the Rider-Waite deck, which I hate. I can't stand it. The colors, the art, none of it actually resonates with me. I get nothing from that deck. I just don't like it. I really don't like it. And for those of you who love it, that's wonderful. I'm so happy you enjoy that. I don't. What inspires my intuition, what really opens me up and helps me connect, is finding art that tells me a story that I feel. I have actually with me several different decks. One is the Chinese tarot. I was an Asian studies major in college and studied supernatural and Chinese literature and, you know, a bunch of other fun classes that I could go on and on about for a long time. And the images speak to me. They have beauty and grace and depth, and it's just one of the decks that when I look at the picture, it's not just a picture. It tells me a whole story, and I can connect with that energy and find more images that come up, that spirit starts to really speak to me. You have the dream deck. Well, you know, if you don't connect with that deck, then let me help you find another one. That's one of the things that I actually love doing, is helping people, because I have well over 50 tarot decks, and I'm always researching and learning about more decks, and I love the opportunity to help people find that deck that helps them. This is the Ansata Tarot, by the way, and it's only just the major arcana. But that's one of the things I love to do, is help people find that deck which helps them to connect to their intuition. So yeah, Russo, just contact me, whatever way you want to do so, and I'll help you find a deck that resonates with you. I'll probably ask you several questions, and then talk to my people, my spirit people, and we'll figure that out. That'll be fun. Yay! And so, Twisted Scribe, you asked me, what is my favorite spread? Honestly, I can't say that I have a specific spread I like more than any other. I've been working with tarot for a very long while. I'm not going to count up the years, because that would take me too long, because math and my age and dates and shit are not easy. Numbers, stuff, I mean, I can remember, whatever. Anyway, a long time. And so I have created all my own spreads, and sometimes in the moment when there's a specific question asked and I'm being, somebody requests that I help them with a particular situation, I find that I will, on the fly, in that moment, create a spread. It's very intuitive. In fact, I would say I'm an extremely intuitive reader. And so I don't think I have a favorite spread. You know, I've never used the Celtic Cross. I think I maybe used it once or twice, and that's one of the most popular spreads that I'm aware of. But certain things just never resonated with me. Like I said, I will never use the Rider-Waite Tarot, though I do respect the imagery. And actually a lot of what's in this one, they're just reimaginings of the Rider-Waite. And same with the Ghetto Tarot, which I have in front of me right here. It's just the red and yellow. I can't do it. There's too much red and yellow. It's hard for me. So Wow, these are great questions. Y'all are wonderful. So yeah, I don't have a specific favorite spread. I think the spread has to fit the occasion. I am currently writing a book about tarot, and where I explain some of the spreads that I use most often that I have personally created. It's a book I just need to get off my ass and finish. I have about 20 projects going at the same time, all the time. And so, of course, it takes me too long to complete one of them. And ADD, I'm working on that. So this year is the year. Without a doubt, this is the year. So it's almost done. And when I finish that, y'all will be some of the first people to know. Oh, Mike Moya. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in forever. So many people popping on here. I saw Mimi Obsidian, and thank you guys for showing up. I was like, I'll just talk to myself for the next 30 minutes if that's what needs to happen. Oh, what if someone else uses your tarot cards? Oh, these are such great questions. Thank you. So, like I said, a lot of people will anthropomorphize and ascribe a personality to their tarot cards. And in some ways I can see that, because I see that certain images, like when I speak of the Chinese tarot, obviously look at how gentle and soft is this energy. The images are muted colors. They, to me, it sort of, it feels like a gentle deck. And I will pull that out when I need the energy to be more gentle, and working with people who maybe don't want my harsher, more sailor-like self. Even though that's probably going to come through anyway. But I don't, so I don't anthropomorphize. This one right here, these don't, they're stark colors. I mean, it's, very bold-ish, I guess. But the images, it's hard to get them to come in clearly. The images are dark. They're darker, a bit heavier. So of course the way that they're interpreted is probably going to feel more to that way. Oh no. Oh, thank you, Twisted Scribe. Thank you for being here. Kit, I missed your question. It scrolled up before I got a chance to see it. Can you please put it in again while I finish answering Russo's question? Anyway, Russo, so like I said, I don't anthropomorphize my cards. I don't feel that they have their own personal energy, that they have their own personality. I think it's the conduit through which that we experience spirit and are able to communicate with spirit. So if that conduit is purple, you're going to see everything purple. If that conduit is spicy, everything's going to be a little bit spicy. So whatever adjective you would use for that conduit, that's going to be what sort of flavors it a bit. So when someone else uses my tarot cards, I don't really feel bothered by that. Now, if you're sensitive to people's energies and don't know how to clear that energy away, it's possible their energy might affect how it feels to you, and then you just cleanse your cards. Or if you just don't want people to touch your shit, that's fine too. I think it's all right they're yours. This is a very personal tool that we use. It's like, I'm not going to let somebody use my vibrator, and I probably won't let somebody else play with my tarot card deck either. Although it's a little less personal for me than a toy. There, it went away again. I lost it. How do I scroll up? Oh, thank you, Kit. Thank you. Okay, I figured out how to find everything that went up that I hadn't seen before. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not turn off the sound on my phone. so that you guys are now hearing all the little bird noises, which are my notification sound, which is supposed to be less intrusive than, say, any other thing that comes through. So, yeah, Kit, thank you. I'm glad that this is something that is helpful for you. I'm really enjoying these questions, and the fact that you guys are showing up and that enjoying it. This makes me very happy. So, again, for the people who just showed up, next week, my best friend, Dimitri, who is Afro-spiritual, we are going to be talking about the fundamentals of tarot, how to begin your practice, how to connect with your cards. So Russo, you wanted to know if you can light your God and Goddess candles so that they can help. Yes, absolutely. However you feel comfortable centering and focusing in, if you, whatever deities or spirits you work with, you can always call in their guidance. In a space such as that, when you're calling in the guidance of deities or entities, I always recommend that you set up a sacred space, set up a space of protection. And if you aren't sure of how to do that, that is something we can also discuss. But having a protected space is extremely important, because not every, it's like when you light a candle, you're going to have lots of moths coming to said candle, and you don't want to attract energy or the attention of anyone who's maybe not on the wavelength and the level that you want to connect with. I won't say malevolent, but I will say different vibration than what you were wanting to connect with. Not everything has our, not every person, not every spirit has our best good in mind. And when we set up protection, that just, that creates like a dome, a space where you can keep your energy focused to only call in those that you would want to actually work with. So yeah, to answer your question, God and Goddess candles, yes. If that helps you connect. A lot of times I know too that people who are getting in the habit of working with tarot will meditate prior to working with the cards, so that they can clear out any of the discomfort shit from your day, so that you can actually focus in on connecting with spirit and using that tool as a way to answer those questions, learning what it is that you want to learn. So does anyone have any more questions? Is there anything else that I can cover for you guys today? Let me see. Oh man, we're almost out of time. I'm going to switch over. I'm switching over to Arcane Sanctum next. That's one of my other pages. I'm going to go on there and answer questions and do the same thing. Yes, definitely keep a journal of your tarot card readings. That will help you to learn and gain insight. Marissa, you want to know what tarot is? Tarot is a 78 card deck that helps us to connect with spirit, or depending on how you look at things. Here's 78 cards. Some people see it as a conduit for speaking with spirit. That's how I see it. Other people see it as a way to dive deeper into our intuitive selves and better understand ourselves. Whatever your take on that is, however you approach it, whether you see it as an extension of yourself, or whether you see it as a way of speaking with spirit, or guides that are present to help you. Either way, it's a tool. It's a tool for us to look at what path we are on, what energy we're putting out, and where that's leading us, and make adjustments if we don't like the direction we're going in. So I hope that that answers your question. I'm about to change over to Arcane Sanctum and go live there. I will be setting up multiple or two different video things next week, so I don't have to switch between, but I just wasn't prepared for that this time. And so next week, tune in when you're welcome, Marissa. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Go over to the Arcane Sanctum page to pop in for the next 30 minutes where I'll be doing a similar talk. And then we will, next week, Afro Spiritual will be here, my best friend Dimitri, and we'll talk fundamentals of tarot. Thank you guys so much. And